everybody, it's Kip, and I'm here with Shaun, and we're just finishing up here in beautiful Fort Worth, Texas. And this guy was a lot of fun to have in the program, but it's actually probably the one that was essential for getting us here. And I just wanted to kind of, talk to him a minute with you as witnesses to see what he thought about beforehand, what he really kind of thought the class was going to be like. How did he, think about it himself? What did he see with people, and how did they and he and everybody respond? So with that,
Well, there's been a drive for some time. We know violence is an issue in EMS, but we don't know how to fix that without knowing what's out there. It had all the recommendations for the jiu-jitsu, the karates, all kinds of things like that. But there's a real fine line between aggressor and defender, and wanted to make that line very clear. So needed to find something very specific, one tailored for EMS, so not out of the box that this is just self-defense for everybody, but one that took a look at the unique relationship we have with the public. How do we effectively manage that, maintain that if we have sort of a violent engagement, and then how do I give somebody a useful tool and a useful head of knowledge on how to manage the real threat that they're going to encounter in the field.
So it started to research, and then we popped up on a Google search, or did somebody say somewhere, but the point is, so then we started this process, and of course it takes a while, but then then we got here, and if I haven't mentioned it already and you didn't get a chance to see some of the other posts, what an amazing well-oiled machine they have working here. But but there are still logistics, and then we came in, and then so class starts. But just before class started, I realized you saw some maybe things on paper, there was some stuff on videos, maybe even saw something that somebody had said before. But did the class meet your expectations? Did anything stand out about the program as it stands, or as a whole?
If I'm being honest, I think our initial expectations were, okay, this is an EMS karate class, right? We're gonna get in here and learn some sweet ninja skills, and off we go. So to say the class exceeded my expectations, I think, is an understatement. Did a great job of really explaining, one, what reasonable force is. We have this idea that I will just tie everybody up and whack them in the head with the clipboard, the O2 bottle, whatever it is, not recognizing there was 15 steps that I missed before I got into that scenario, and now that I'm in this scenario, what is reasonable? Everybody's on video now, so
that's right.
How do I, in the court of public opinion, in actual criminal and civil courtrooms, how is this defensible? One, and two, I'm going home to my family. But am I going home to my family the same person? Do I get to come back to work tomorrow? Do I get to continue in this career?
There we go.
And those are all the pieces that, I think I probably knew deep down, but didn't ever think about when it comes to all this stuff.
That we don't always just bring forward. And it's funny because we watch stuff, and whether it be that we show a video of our peers making a mistake someplace, or we bring out real world experience, not stuff that we made up. Here it is. Here's the news footage of it, right? It really happened. And we go, now I would never do that. But then we go, but wait a minute, these are good people too, right?
Yeah.
So we're all human, and it's like, if we're expecting our people to make a critical thinking decision, we would never expect them to work a code, without training them on how to handle that code. And so there's really, you hit the high point of going, well, what about going home? And but there is another piece to that. So the whole, do whatever it takes to go home, but should have a tagline of maybe within reason, so that I can come back to work the next day, or be healthy and stay out of prison or whatever. But again, it's kind of interesting that yet again we hear that it's going to be an EMS karate class, or it's a fighting class, and as soon as you begin to define stuff for people, they go, oh, did you begin to watch a light bulb come on throughout the program, throughout the different people? Absolutely. And things like that?
And even some of our folks that I think are on that far end of the spectrum, that I've got to bring a gun to every scene because that's the level of, that's the level of opposition I need to bring to the threat. Probably not. I think there's some, like I said, there's 15 steps before that that we want to identify.
So because again, a firearm is certainly a tool, but it would be a tool no different than the surgical crike, right? I have all these other steps that I should have maybe at least had available, or another option before I only went to that surgical crike. But man, if I need a surgical crike, it's there. So
that's exactly right.
Same thing. We're 100% on the same page with that. We want our people safe, but we also want patients and partners safe.
Right.
But now. So we weren't teaching people to beat anybody up.
That was not the focus.
So it wasn't about choking somebody out, knocking them out, breaking limbs, hurting, destroying.
No, and it was very clear that is the opposite of what we want to do. We want to, because sometimes we're getting attacked by an 89-year-old dementia patient, and if I break that person's arm or do a tremendous amount of damage, I'm going to be criminally liable. I'm not going to continue in this, and that's not fair to my patient, who really doesn't mean me any harm. They just don't know what's going on. So the focus is on stuff that it's on techniques that are safe for me and my patient.
Because then, well, would it be fair to say then that there's a difference in winning a fight and then a difference in winning in self-defense? They're two different things, are they not?
Right, and that's where the light bulb came on for a lot of folks, is I have to think about, I'm going to get into a fight with a combative person, an aggressor, or a patient, and then you point out, no, you just want to survive the engagement, survive that moment.
Yeah, because one moment buys another moment, which buys another moment. And so it's like, well, so there's skills, and then there's some. Do we play some tricks with your mind
in the
class?
You did. It sounds so complicated. All the different things we're going to do, and you watch some of the videos that you posted. This is the double tap parry with the twist, and there's no way I'm ever going to get that. But at the end of the day, we're having a conversation while we're doing these 3-4 different techniques at the same time.
So early on, though, we might be doing something I'm talking about, but then did I really try to blast you in the head?
Really came at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happened?
And was still able to react.
Okay.
Didn't
so
freeze.
You didn't freeze and didn't get blasted, but so that's a win, is it not?
That's a win.
Okay. And then what about? So the escape moves, then, if we want to go from like the mindset and some of the legal aspect, great customer service, stuff like that, but then the moves that we were doing, while it seems silly, like you were saying, but then did they become really effective when we're really trying to show you something?
They were huge. All the little tiny things that we were doing, I thought, why are we doing these silly things? In the end, when we combined them in one big move, they worked flawlessly because I had all those pieces already built in.
And it had nothing to do with being a ninja, because that's winning a fight is different than winning a self-defense. And so do you think then that the message that we're trying to say, is that important industry-wide? Whether or not they trained with us, which I wish they would, but if it was industry-wide, are there messages that we're trying to send with this that have so much more to do than just self-defense with this program?
The message was very clear, one that needs to be spread across the entire industry. Violence is not part of the job, and it shouldn't be accepted as such. There are some good techniques we can learn, but we need to be better at reading the scene and reading our patients and figuring out how do I manage this scene before it gets to on the local news tonight because I got in a fist fight with somebody.
Correct. Would you agree then that there's even possibilities at times may arise that we also want that employee to go, I can't manage this any longer, maybe I should just step back and call in for somebody else who should manage that?
You're absolutely right.
So we're not asking them to have the end all be all with one 16-hour class, that it is a constant thing, but that we're going, aren't there other resources? We call for other resources for other issues. Why wouldn't we call for resources for this particular incident,
Absolutely right.
And then would you say that the skills are difficult to learn and difficult to retain and difficult to apply? Or was it stuff that you saw people of all different skill levels, ages, and sizes be able to learn, retain, and begin to apply?
They're very simple skills, very simple drills and stuff that I was excited to share with my family every night, and go home and practice with the family.
Well, it's great to go home and beat up a 3-year-old.
Oh, well,
you believe it. But so then they meant enough that you were going to go home and show somebody that you care about to go, hey, look, this would work, because it's escaping is different than beating them up.
That's right. I'm not teaching my kids how to fight. I'm teaching them, if you get trapped in a dangerous situation, this is how you escape that violent encounter, which is a great tag.
Well, overall, the main thing is I just want to say, hey, thanks a bunch, brother, for having me.
Yeah,
I really
appreciate it, sir.
We had a great time. So, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.